King Creations PCS. I'm going live as you can see. Um, you won't see me today, but you'll see my hands. I'm trying to do something different, y'all. I want y'all to be able to see the pot a little better. What I'm making today is leftovers. We're doing a rescue of pantry stuff. You know, things that we tend to have in our refrigerator or pantries, and we're trying to figure out what to do with it. Well, hey, I had some leftover pulled pork, and I was like, what am I going to fix with that? So I'm making a nice soup, and you could even say that this soup is getting you ready for St. Patrick's Day because I got some greens going in it, okay? Got some greens going in it. So right here, what I got is my pot heating up with some oil. I always use a non-inflammatory oil, by the way, meaning the or the non-seed oils. You want those because those are better for you, okay? So what I got is onions and peppers. I like to use the different color ones because they have a little bit more, they're nutrient dense. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here, not all of it, just enough. This is what we call our aromatics or our soup starters. You might see that they called that in the grocery store, especially if you get it in the frozen section. But I don't get mine from the frozen section, y'all. I get mine from the produce, and I get bags of onions, bags of peppers, celery. Today, this isn't the Trinity. This is just onions and peppers going on right here. And so what I'm doing is I'm sweating this. I'm sweating this, trying to get those flavors out of there. If you're popping in, make sure you say hey to your chef. Say hey to your chef. And tell me where you're from. I know some of y'all are probably at work, but I'm my mother's caregiver, so I have to cook something. This is going to be for later. It could be for now too, but this is going to be for later. Ooh, smells good. Always start with your aromatics. I see one person popped in. Say hey to your chef. How you doing? Where you from? So what I'm doing is getting this to sweat out, get some of that flavor from, flavor from the onions and peppers, aka soup starters, as you might get it from the, I see a few more people popped in. Say hey to your chef, Yes. Tell me where you're from. Do you see yourself making this dish if you looked at the title? So now what I'm going to do is I have fresh garlic. Y'all, those of you who've been following me for a while, I'm assuming some of y'all may have. If not, I am going to put fresh garlic in here. Fresh is best instead of that stuff in the jar. And it smells insane, y'all. Smells wonderful. Yes, I know y'all know it. Okay, make sure you say hey to your chef and where you're from. So what I'm going to do, this is what I was talking about. I had some slow cooker pulled pork that I had in my refrigerator, and I was like, I got to do something with this. So what I'm going to do is pour this into my pot. And I'm going to stir this around, break this up a little bit, bring this back up to a boil. This is one of those what to do with leftovers segments, okay? Because tomorrow's Taco Tuesday. And you don't have to have tacos on Tuesday, y'all. You can eat tacos anytime. Do y'all like tacos? Y'all like tacos? I like it, and I could eat it pretty much anytime. So I'm going to re-season this because this is onion powder. Anything that's been in the refrigerator is going to need to be re-seasoned, y'all. It's going to need some extra love. So that's the onion powder going in. This is garlic powder. Yes, I know you're probably like, well, chef, why you have onions and garlic going down to that. That's the base, okay? Now I'm building the background with the seasonings, okay? So I have, like I said, the onion powder and garlic powder. And I'm also going to put some cumin in here because we want this to complement the smokiness of the pulled pork. All right. So as you can see, I'm not measuring because I don't measure. I pretty much let the ancestors tell me when that's enough. Do y'all do that too when y'all cook? Don't be shy. Speak to your chef. I love talking to everybody. Like I said earlier in my live, I am not showing myself today. I'm trying to do something different. I want you guys to see the product more than seeing me. So that's what I'm doing right here. Okay, so now I'm going to put some salt. What salt I have? I have fine sea salt. You could use the pink Himalayan, which is what I normally do, but I don't have any. So you use what you have on hand. Now, my tagline is a recipe is just a guide created the way you want. Use your heart and your head. So that means that just because you don't have something, that doesn't mean that dinner can't get on the table, y'all. So I have to make it happen. Okay. So I'm going to put some pimento moida, aka crushed red pepper flakes, because this is kind of like it's a southwestern type thing, right? So got to put a little heat in there. I like heat in mine. You don't have to have that if you don't want, but I want it in mine. Y'all like that? Can you see eating this so far? So I'm going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning in there. You don't have to put the Italian seasoning if you don't want. You don't have to do any of these things. This can just inspire you and make you say, hey, I'm doing that. I like that. I like that. So that's what recipes are. Recipes are a guide. They're a base. They let you know, hey, yeah, I need to do that. I need to do that. And then I'm going to put my love in there. The things that I learned from mom and them, or that you stayed up late watching TikTok. That was great northern beans that I just put in here because I'm making, a bean, a nice smoky bean, and spinach. I'm putting spinach in there. You don't have to put the spinach in there. But like I said earlier, for those of you that just popped in, this is also great for, hey, St. Patrick's Day, right? Because we're going to have some green going on in here. Now, what did I just put in here? I just put some stock, chicken stock. If you want a really good flavorful recipe for stock, check out my YouTube channel. I have stock. It's called which one is it? Stock or broth, right? So check that out. So look at this. Yes. Yummy. We're going to bring this up to a boil and going to give it a little bit more flavor. And this is where the Salsa Verde in. Put that in there just for some tang. I like tanginess. Now, if you don't have Salsa Verde, you could put just a splash of lemon, like toward the end, limes, if you want to do that. So we're just letting this come back up to a boil. And this is going to be really good. Really, really good. I'm so excited about this. Soup. It's not a stew. How's the weather where you guys are? It went from the 70s. I'm in Atlanta. It went from the 70s to the 40s, 50s, because we had a cold spell to come through. So that's where we are right now. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Like I said, think of St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. You can make this. Easy to make this. Beans and greens with some, it doesn't have to be pork, y'all. It could be chicken. If you're vegetarian, you could put a nice good tofu in there, a seasoned tofu in here, and make it for that. Oh yes. Can y'all see making this? Look at the colors. Look at the colors. So like I said, I'm gonna bring this up to a boil. put the lid on there and just let it hang out. Now, if you wanted this to be more tangy, because I really love salsa verde, y'all. How many of y'all like salsa verde? I love salsa verde. I'm trying to see if I can see some people. A simple pleasure you enjoy. Yes. I see some of the comments you guys are making. So we're just letting this come up to a boil. And salsa verde, I love it. The hot ones, I like this. You could put the spicy salsa in here, the red salsa. This is just, your chef just decided, hey, I'm going to throw this together. I'm going to have this. I'm going to make some cornbread. If you want to keep this strictly like a Southwest type thing, you could do some tortillas, fresh tortillas, crush it up on there. Now, this whole recipe will not be done in this live, so I'll pop back in and you guys get a chance to see me. But what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to try this because I need to see if I need to adjust the seasoning. And make sure you try your things, y'all. Try this, okay? Try it. Oh yes, it's got that tang. And you see I put my spoon over there because I'm going to put a little bit more salt in here, not too much. And got to put some cracked black pepper. I like fresh cracked black pepper. Gives it that, it just tastes better, y'all. It just tastes better because, I don't know if y'all know this, but they put sand in the black pepper in the containers. It's already ground. It's crazy how they do our food, y'all. It really is. It's almost like we need to make our stuff ourselves. But look at this. Oh, look at how nice and rich and flavorful this is. And what I'm going to do, and if you don't want to do this part, you could also come back with a slurry. I'm just smashing some of the beans against the wall of the pot to kind of thicken it up some. Or like I said, you could make a slurry. And slurry, what I mean by that is just take some cornstarch, equal amounts of cornstarch, and like 2 tablespoons and 2 tablespoons of water, and just, you can go like that and just pour it in. You would have to, for this amount, you would probably have to do about, let's see, I would probably start off, because we're not trying to make it thick, unless that's what you want. I probably would start off with like 4 tablespoons of cornstarch to 4 tablespoons of cold water, okay? Make sure that is nice and well incorporated because you don't want lumps, okay? And then in your boiling broth, you would pour that in there and just swirl and swirl until it goes through the whole thing. But I'm not trying to do that. And you could also, if you wanted, take some of this out. Now, I could have taken the beans, like, these are canned beans, by the way. I could have taken some of the beans, pureed them, and then poured it in here. But I didn't want to do that. But I'm just, like I said, just smashing some against the walls of the pot to kind of thicken it up. All right, so now it's coming up to a boil. I'm also going to put a bay leaf in here. Whenever I deal with beans, y'all, I like to use a bay leaf. So I'm going to put that in there. So again, what do I have in here? I have cracked black pepper, bay leaf, crushed red pepper flakes, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, and sea salt. I don't use table salt, y'all. I use sea salt, pink Himalayan salt. And look at that. That is gorgeous. So we got to let the flavors melt. And I'm going to try this one more time because I want to make sure And always use a single-use spoon, y'all. The other spoon is over here. We don't do like mama and them used to do back in the day. Or maybe somebody's mama does it now. We don't do that, okay? We try our food, try it with a single spoon, and then we put it to the side. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to let this hang out. Got to let this, because soup needs to cook for at least 30 minutes. If you really got to have it, all right, you can do 15, 20 minutes, okay? But let this hang out. But like I said, it's not going to be ready right now, y'all, so you're going to have to, if you can, remember, pop back in. And if you would be so kind and you like what you see so far, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I appreciate some likes and comments. And thank you so much for coming in. I hope this came out right. This is my third live. And I've enjoyed this. You know, I had to look at some videos on YouTube University to kind of get an idea about how, you know, to do things. So, yeah, I enjoyed y'all coming in. Thanks for stopping by, and look out for me. Look out for my next one. Have a good one.